Larry DiVizio here. I'm up in the Pigeon River Country State Forest. I'm at one of my favorite campgrounds. I'm living the luxury life today. I'm at Round Lake State Forest Campground. It's a small campground. I think there's like 10 or 12 sites at the most, might be less. And the reason I'm hitting a campground today is for the next couple days I'm going to be wandering around the Pigeon River looking to get some wildlife video and images for a couple services out there. The Pigeon River area is home to the only existing elk herd east of the Mississippi. It was established back like in 1909, I believe it was. The elk were brought in for a hunting club or area. They either were released or escaped or whatever, but they have established a herd here, about 1,500 animals, I believe, 1,200 to 1,500. There is a very, very limited elk hunt every year, and they're really majestic creatures to see out there. So what the DNR has done is establish some areas where they've plowed and planted to try to attract the elk, to attract tourists and visitors to the area. And I'm going to be hanging out there probably, let me see what time it is now, it's 7 o'clock. It's still 83 degrees, so the elk are not going to be wandering around. If they have any brains, they're going to be hanging out somewhere cooler than what we are now. So I'm getting dinner going here. Let me get my simmer ring off of here. I thought I'd generate enough heat. It's windy as all get out today, so I'm cooking on my Trangia stove. And instead of trying to get the fire going, this campground, it's really nice. It's dead silent here. Nice for a change. So I'm going to get dinner going and heading out later. And over the next couple days, or the next day or so, I'm going to be getting some images of the area, doing some video. It's a very unique place, Pigeon River. It's about 300 miles north of Detroit. I'm about 50 miles from the Mackinac Bridge. And if it wasn't cooking before a lot, boy, it's cranking up now here. And gotta drop that simmer ring back on. Opened up all the way. And just a wonderful place. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next couple days. I'm going to get my dinner going here, and more to come. As I had mentioned earlier, the DNR has plowed areas back here right behind me, and a couple different locations in the Pigeon River to bring the elk in, and that way tourists can come through and see them. So I'm going to give it a shot and see if I can find anybody here. See if I can, hang out. It's right near sunset now. We got about an hour or so to go. It was a pretty hot day today, and I'm sure that the elk were smarter than the humans and that they were just hanging out and staying cool. So let's hope that we see something out here. There's about 12 to 1,500 elk in the area. It's in a couple counties, Mount Morency and Otsego. It's an interesting thing to see. You're used to white-tailed deer in Michigan or in the Midwest, and when you see these elk, they're so much bigger. And the males, when they have the rack, it's just so majestic. They're beautiful animals. We'll see what we come up with. Hopefully I'll get lucky tonight and get some images. And if not, I'm going to be here for a few days trying this, different locations throughout the area. Well, as it turns out, I do end up at a different location right here. It's 2.5 miles from where I was when I was recording that first beginning of the video. DNR officer came by and told me that there were elk in another field that was plowed. And so I headed on down and got hold of these great images of these beautiful animals. And right coming up now, you'll start hearing some coyotes. They were out there howling away, which really kind of added to the moment. But the point being, these elk, they're not that disturbed by being watched. You can see this younger guy here was just looking up. He's a little spooked. But the older, more mature elk, these bigger guys, they could care less. Excuse the bounce on the camera. I was doing this handheld. I got there and the elk were already out there, so I didn't have a chance to get the camera onto a tripod. So, like I say, forgive the bouncing here. It was a really unique chance to get and see these animals in their natural environment feeding. I've seen them before, but that's when I was hunting and didn't have a camera on me, so the elk ended up staying out in the field until it became totally dark and it was impossible to record them any further. But coming up will be the big elk that I saw coming in. It was a monster and it is gorgeous. So, hey, thanks for watching. Go out and have some fun in the outdoors. Don't forget to subscribe, share it with friends, and as always, be safe. Now enjoy. I'm hoping I can get in here. There is a giant freaking elk.